Happy Aloha Friday, everyone. Welcome to My Tais at Sunset. I'm Tai.
And I'm Mai, and it is a beautiful Aloha Friday today. I set the intention that we're going to share a lot of laughs and positivity. Hope you laugh along with us.
Yeah, and I mean, it is actually Friday when we're recording this.
We recorded last week Friday, Aloha Friday, and we literally just talked about how Krispy Kremes, I would see them on the side of the road, people selling them. And I got up early. I was going to Honolulu to go get photos and video of the King Kamehameha statue because it was his birthday. And I wanted to get pictures of the leis while they were still alive and fresh. So early in the morning. So as I'm driving right there alongside the Aloha Highway, like 6 cars. And there was like a table set up. Krispy Kremes, fresh from Maui.
I can't believe that. I don't even know what time they pick those up.
It's got to be the first flight out. First flight, I think, is at 5 a.m.
Which is like 5 a.m., right?
Yeah. But it's only like a 20-minute flight to Maui.
That's so funny, though. Like, who wants to spend the money to fly back and forth? Unless you have,
They got to have a friend.
Family. Yeah, family that's like giving you free tickets every time.
Well, I don't know. I think it's just somebody who works. I would assume that it would be like your friend.
That's so weird.
You've coordinated. So weird. They've got them ready to deliver.
Yeah, unless somebody works there, maybe.
Yeah.
Like has them at the back doors, like all shady and stuff.
But the inner island airports
shady Krispy Kreme trade
are easy to get around, right? Not like Honolulu, where you...
Yeah, that's true.
You have to like go find some parking in a structure. The inner island parking lots are super teeny tiny, and
they're actually a parking lot.
They're actually
instead of a parking garage.
A real parking lot, and that's all it is. That's all they need.
Concept. Well, that's true. I mean, it's really funny to talk to people about like going into Honolulu Airport, and I said half of it's inside and half of it's outside. Mm-hmm. So don't definitely wear some shorts.
Oh yeah,
because you're gonna be hot. And they're like, "No, I'm not. All airports are air conditioned." I'm like, no.
Only some parts.
No, and neither are the malls. Some of the malls are not air conditioned too. So.
Not all, yeah. It's indoor, outdoor.
Some of the hospitals are not all completely air conditioned as well. You have to go walk outside, go to the other part of the building.
Or different wings.
People do.
Especially Queens. Mm-hmm. Queens Hospital is a bunch of different buildings. Sometimes you have to go out of one whole building, go across, walk to the next building, and then go. Sometimes they're around the block and they have a different parking structure all by themselves.
Yep, that's very true. So let's see. Well, there's been a lot going on since we last spoke. Mm-hmm. I don't even think we even talked this week or separately from the podcast, just because I have been a little under the weather. Mm-hmm. And I would say a little bit more than a little, but it's been okay. One of the things that I'm sure our listeners know and all of my friends and family know is that I love food very much. And for a little bit of time, I have not been able to smell or taste, which I think comes from having this very severe cold. Mm-hmm. At first, everybody was like, "Oh my God, you have the Rona." But I think as far as I never thought like a test could be inconclusively resulted for COVID. I thought it was like either yes or no. Mm-hmm. See, here it comes. But anyway, so my doctor was just like, "I think you have a cold because of, your symptoms and everything." But I mean, I was like reading it and I started to get a little bit hypochondriac because I was like, "Oh my God, my muscles ache. I have a runny nose, got a lot of congestion," right? And I can't taste or smell anything.
But that can be a lot of different kinds of colds, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just so congested that, like, my senses are like, no. So I took this as an opportunity to go on a diet.
Yeah, why eat if you can't taste it?
For the past week, I've just, I've been hanging out with my mom when I'm not working, and she was like, "Well, I better just pick all the places you don't like to go because you can't taste it anyway." Mm-hmm. So we have gone to a bunch of restaurants, and I literally have eaten, like, a salad, mm-hmm. and I'll tell my mom, "I know that lettuce tastes like this. Mm-hmm. I know it's crunchy." And she's like, "Well, what do you feel right now?" And I was like, "I feel like I'm eating crispy air." And she was like, "Well, put this lemon in your mouth. See, like we tried everything. We tried lemons. Mm-hmm. We tried wasabi." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "My mouth is burning, but I don't know why. Like, I don't, like, you just don't know, right?" And then she put some Cholula in my mouth. Then we tried some like real chili paste from like a Thai restaurant. Nothing. I was like, I might as well eat some hot food that, like, go do a competition, like hot wing competition where you eat like the fire wings. Cause I can't taste, I can't feel really anything. I mean, I feel it, but I don't like feel it, right? I ate a whole jalapeno and I was like, whatever.
Just crunchy.
Just crunchy.
Crunchy texture.
And my brother was like, here, to have a piece of pizza. And I was like, oh God, I miss pizza. Like your brain tries to fill your mouth with what flavors. It's not the same. My whole body was like, this sucks. I literally ate nothing for the past 5 days because I've just been so upset. I'm eating to sustain energy, and that's it.
Yep.
My mom was like, you just downed like a whole coffee. And I was like, I hope the caffeine kicks in. That's all I need it for.
Interesting.
And she bought me this new Pedialyte.
Yeah.
That's like a sports drink, but it's really supposed to like give you like, a lot of fluids and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it tastes like. She was like, here, just drink this.
It's funny that you say that because I say the same thing about like those little spritzer drinks like White Claw and stuff. And it's not really like I had grapefruit and orange or lime and all these other ones. And I'm like, it's not really those flavors so much as it's someone's idea of those flavors imagined. Right. It's not really like you're drinking lime flavored bubbly.
Well, it's the essence of whenever somebody's like, oh, this is supposed to taste like strawberry, it's like the essence of strawberry.
Yeah.
So when I think about the word essence, I feel like somebody's like squeezing a strawberry and just like, like under microscopic, like, or slow-mo, you see this like squish of like little particles come out of it. Like they do that with the oranges, like orange commercials. They have like this spritz. Yeah. So that's the essence coming out. It's just, for those of you who cannot visually see me, I'm doing like this thing with my hand where it just like blossoms into the air. Yeah. That's essence of any fruit.
Yeah, but it's a lot of things like that. A lot of beverages like that now. It's just like the idea of it. There's a little bit of hints for your brain to go, oh yeah, this might be like lime flavored.
Isn't there water that's called hint?
Yeah.
It just has a hint of watermelon. So they just pressed it a little bit and then
somebody thought really hard, hey, you're gonna taste like this.
It's like almost like when you spray perfume in the air and you just kind of walk into this mist that you hope is there, that you imagine is there. That's how I feel. Essence. So whatever you smell like is essence of mine.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, it just feels so delicate. Anyway, I have so many things going on right now, and I think that contributed to me getting a little bit more sick. So the weather's been kind of hot, not as hot as the West Coast. But, you go outside, you sweat like a ton, and then you come in and there's ceiling fans on, there's air conditioning blowing on you. And so I think that contributes to us getting colds, especially like if your hair is wet, it's on your head. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But one of the things that we did this week is my brother is finally starting the project down at the Renaissance Festival. We're making a building for a shop that's wizard themed, and it will have all these magical bits and bobs. So I'm really excited about that. And I was able to go around the Renaissance Festival when it was completely empty. All the stalls are like boarded up and there's nobody around. And so I took some video of that. And then in the same day, my brother picked up his brand new tractor, which I also took video of.
What kind of tractoring plans are there for the land?
We're using it to level out the land. We can also use it to push over like really heavy brush, or we have a few really big, large tubes, I guess.
Okay.
They use them for construction, like big water projects and things. We have those, and the goats like to stand on them, so we have to move them, and they're quite heavy. So a tractor can actually push. It can level the ground. It can cut grass. It can do all these things.
Okay.
It's really meant for heavy duty work. And now here's a fun fact. Did you know the wheels on the back of a tractor are usually filled with 80% water to give it enough weight so when you're pushing or lifting heavy objects, your tractor doesn't
Fall over.
tip forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Like cow tipping in, what was it? Do you remember in Cars where the tractors are all cows and they go, Mater and Lightning McQueen go cow tipping and the tractors like go up on their back wheels?
That's right.
Because it's like cow tipping.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the wheels are heavy because there's mostly water in them. I did not know that until today. And I was like, that's amazing. That's a great fact.
Yeah. Are you guys going to plant anything like grapevines and maybe have your own little vineyard going?
My mom was talking about some kind of tree called a crepe myrtle and doing like a row of them. And they always blossom in the spring and the summer. Real multicolored little baby flowers. They're very pretty. So it'll be kind of like that. My brother is going to put some kind of evergreens in the front of the property because all the palm trees died during the freeze. And so he's going to put a bunch of evergreens, like those really tall, skinny ones. My mom was like, let's make a Christmas tree farm. And I was like, no. But all the evergreens just to block out like the sound from the road.
Yeah.
As well as they're very protective, sort of. They create a protective barrier. So if you're out driving towards the North Shore, you'll see a lot of evergreens on the side of the roads when you're driving out because they have fruit trees behind it and it protects them from noise pollution and air pollution.
Yep.
So we want to kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
That is a beautiful drive out on the North Shore. It does feel like you're somewhere on the mainland where it's cold and it doesn't really seem like Hawaii because of those big pine type trees. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have...
But they do serve a purpose.
We do have really interesting pine trees by the beaches that when they drop down, oh my gosh, those little tiny pine cones, they poke your feet. And they're in the sand and you're like walking on the sand and you don't know that they're there sometimes. But as soon as you step on them, you feel it.
And sometimes they stick to your foot or the inside
they're
of
very
your foot.
sharp.
And you're like, and you just got to power through.
Yep. Because you're probably carrying a canoe.
Yep. Exactly. Those pine needles are sharp. I don't know why they put those by the beach, but that was a dumb move. So I wanted to tell you, the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, also affectionately known as ERCOT. So when we were having the blizzard, sort of the weird blizzard, they controlled all the electricity sort of allotment.
And you were having power outages and rolling blackouts.
Right. So they're planning to do that this summer.
Okay.
Because they have asked us for a week, like citizens of Texas, put your thermostat at 78, save as much electricity as possible. Well, people are like, no, we're not doing that, right? But if you have an electric smart thermostat, like a Nest, they automatically set. So they have the power to tap in and set your electronic smart thermostat to whatever temperature they want. And they have literally gone into people's, like, they remotely tapped into your home.
Whoa.
And turned it to 80 degrees. People have been posting pictures. So they had some smart thermostats adjusted remotely during ERCOT's call for conservation. My parents, they leave their temperature at like 76, and I usually leave mine at like 76, 74, just because, you know, it depends on how like insulated, right? Or how hot it is. But I'm going to rip out my smart thermostat because I don't want anybody controlling my temperature.
Yeah.
Remotely. Isn't that weird?
But isn't this an opportunity for you guys to go completely off the grid? Like setting up solar?
So the thing is with living out there, we're actually not part of ERCOT.
Okay.
So living out on the land, we don't rely on their grid.
Okay.
The grid that we will be on is privately owned by the people in that city, that county.
Okay. Nice.
And so when they had the blizzard, they actually had planned rolling blackouts, so that you knew what time your power would be out. And they would only do it enough time so that your stuff in your freezer wasn't going bad. So we talked to a couple of neighbors and people out there, and the person putting in the electrical pole, he was like, maybe an hour a day.
Okay.
Which is not bad, right?
Is that every day?
Especially if it's...
Or just during that time?
And it was an hour a day during that time for 2 days.
Oh, wow.
Whereas other people were like 48 hours, a whole week. Like, they didn't have water or electricity. And he was like, no, we did fine. Because everybody has independent wells and sewer. So you never have to pay for water or sewer ever again because you already have all that. You just pay for electricity and internet.
Yeah, I think you guys could totally do like a solar farm.
Eventually we could do solar.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually. But I mean, solar here is not really as popular as it is in Hawaii and California just because our electricity bills are really not that high. I think for me, I pay $60 a month.
Oh.
And my parents pay like $75. Anyway, I thought it was really weird that somebody could remotely cue into your Wi-Fi enabled thermostat and change it, and then you can't change it back.
Whoa.
Can you imagine if your house, well, I mean, you live without electricity, not electricity. You live without air conditioning sometimes, and it can go up to 80.
Yeah.
But you're used to it. Here, it's humid, 80, and if it's 80 in your house and it's like 111 index outside, it's hot.
Yeah.
You know, and I would just die if somebody changed my electricity to like
the water,
my thermostat, excuse me. I would just die if somebody changed my thermostat to 80 degrees and didn't tell me.
Yeah, I guess.
And then didn't give me a choice.
Trees and having water are going to actually keep your land cooler.
Yeah. We want to do a lot of trees and a lot of different things. It's just going to take time. I would give myself and my family 2 years to get that land looking the way we want. Outdoor patios, enclosed patio decks. We're going to have like a little gazebo area for barbecues. We're going to build a new dock. And I'm going to have a workshop because I'm finally going to work on some products that I want to roll out.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited
about that.
Let's go be artsy and creative because you're really creative. All right, I have something funny to tell you. So
what?
The other day I was coming home from Honolulu and I was coming around Makapu'u side. And as I'm coming around, there's all of a sudden I come up to this slowdown just past Hanama Bay. And you know where it gets all windy? Like by China Walls and stuff? Is that China Walls? No, I've already passed it. Anyway, so I'm over there and where it's like the big rock faces and the road is very windy. And then you just got these chunks of blue where you can see the ocean. And it's just gorgeous. But all of a sudden we slowed down from 35 to 5 miles per hour. And we're just going. And I'm like around 5 cars back where I can see that that's where the traffic started. And it kind of goes up and down. And so when it went up, I could see there was a woman on a moped and she was wobbly.
No, she wasn't. She's not on a moped.
She was on a moped.
Stop.
And she was wobbling. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then, so I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing.
She was on the road?
Yes, she's on the road. There's no.
I thought that they can do that.
There's no bike path like around there to like, there's nothing. So that's why even in that area, I really worry about bicyclists because it's one of the scariest parts. There's no margins on the side, no nothing. So she's in the middle of the road and I'm like, then someone's honking behind and I know it's a tourist because local people, we do not honk our horns.
Don't honk.
And they're honking their horn and I'm like, just chill out, enjoy the view because this is actually one of the most scenic spots on the entire island and you should be grateful that you get to see it and not cause an accident yourself. So sure enough, when we get around to where she can pull over, because there are pullover spots after that, I knew she would pull over when she could. I see her park next to a guy and I'm like, oh, did he ditch her? So now I'm all I'm like being judgy because I'm like,
I like how you leaned into the camera. You leaned into the microphone and the camera. You were like, well, now I'm going to be judgy.
I'm just judging this guy for like leaving this poor woman who was like struggling on her motor scooter thing. But I imagine that, this would be a couple that would probably rent a car if there were cars available to rent. But I just felt bad for her. And I was really upset at that tourist who was honking their horn because it's like Hawaii is a lot of single one-way roads.
Well, you don't want to scare her too and have her topple and then get run over.
Absolutely. We want to keep her on her thing. And Hawaii drivers were used to the tourist traffic. We just chill out, We enjoy the view.
Do we? Do we really?
Yeah, because I don't usually go so late that I'm in a hurry and I'm like having to rush.
That's true.
I go early.
You make a plan.
And then I chill out and I'm like, things happen. And if I get there early, extra early, it's great.
If we all had the time in the world like you, Mai, we'd all be better people.
But if you're coming to Hawaii
Honestly.
on vacation, honestly, just take a chill pill and just enjoy the views.
Take a chill pill, she says. Yeah, you're on vacation, but a lot of people, they don't maximize their time on vacation. It's kind of like Disney. They don't plan, right? And then they'll spend 4 hours in the line seeing nothing, and then they're upset.
Yeah, you got to plan.
I like to be stress-free.
Don't
when I go on my
fly.
vacation.
Don't fly anywhere
Fly by the seat of your pants.
and then
like,
just
stupid.
wing it. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, your kids are going to be hungry. You got to go to the bathroom. Got to make all plans. When I make plans with my mom, I know she needs rest breaks, potty breaks. I know where all the bathrooms are. Actually, honestly, I know both parks like the back of my hand. Like, I could just walk around blind and I know where things are. But yeah, very good. I have a story for you. So we met this lady who works in the septic office. So we all know what septic is. Their entire office is decorated with like poop emojis and little like blurbs about poop. Because I mean, that's all they deal with is permits for septics. And we walked in. We were talking about like our chickens, right? And she was like, "Well, I have 3 chickens. I really want to get rid of." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, we'll take them. You know, no big deal." She's like, "Yeah, my husband loves them, but I can't stand them, and they were just dumped on our land, and we don't want them anymore."
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go get them. So my brother and I take a crate, like a dog crate out, and the chickens are nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Okay? The husband comes home, he shakes the bag of food, they kind of peek out, and then they go away. He's like, "All right, you're going to have to come back like in 2 days, and I'll capture them, and you can have them." So I take my mom and I out there, and we pick up the crate. They're in there making a big mess. So, you know, when you see birds eat, they like peck and twist their head around and everything just goes everywhere. So I'm smart. I put a whole towel on top of the crate and we go out to the land. So I sent you that video of me releasing them onto the land. So come to find out, the next day we didn't see them. My mom's like, "Okay." The next day we see a cat.
Uh-oh.
A cat that we don't have.
Yeah.
That's not ours. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh. We sent these 3 chickens to their death." My mom was so upset. So when my brother's new lawnmower got delivered and he was mowing the lawn, apparently the kids saw them.
Yeah.
Saw the chickens like run around. So I went out there and I finally saw them, and we had 3 roosters like kind of cruising on the land. Well, now the one that was shy, didn't really want to interact. It was the black and white one. He's now the head honcho, and he has corralled these 3 little hens. And they're starting to lay eggs and nest.
Oh, how cute.
So cute, right? Like, it's weird how I was
They
like
just
so
made
fascinated. I was like,
friends.
they just made friends. It just took a couple days and then they were out together. And then my brother found a 3-foot gator. So fun fact, we have a pond. We apparently have a gator in there. So if you look at a gator's snout, however long the gator's snout is, and then you just say, like, if it's 3 inches, then the gator is 3 feet.
Okay.
So the longer the mouth, that's how you equate size, like kind of guesstimate size. So we have a 3-foot alligator cruising, and I was like, those chickens better run and stay away from the pond. But the Parks and Wildlife will come out and take it for free. So I told my brother, once we get more chickens and goats and everything, that gator needs to go, because I'm supposed to get on my paddleboard in the middle of our pond lake thing and scoop up all the turtles. And I'm not going to do that with a gator in there.
Didn't you see those turtles can bite you, or they have snapping turtles?
Yeah, they can, but we got to get them out because they kill all the fish. We want to put some fish in the pond.
Can't the Fish and Wildlife take the turtles at the same time?
They don't want that. It's like vermin,
Oh.
right? Like the turtles, the little red ears sliders, those are a lot of people's pets, and then they dump them in the waterways, and then they end up in your like ponds and things. Because ours is connected to a waterway. So there's always fresh water going in and out of
when you grab them, what you gonna do with them?
Dump them in somebody else's like no, I'm just kidding. There's like we're probably gonna have to let them go in a park or something like that. They're just gonna have to go somewhere else.
Okay.
There's too many of them. Like, I literally walked to the edge, like 20 turtles jumped back in the water, and I'm like, I'll get you, my pretties. Like,
That's kind of a lot.
I'm going to go in there and get them. Yeah, it's quite a bit. They're just chilling. They're like, there's no natural predators except for the alligator now.
You were supposed to tell me a story about your, what exactly happened with your phone in the puddle.
Oh my gosh. This is so dumb. Okay. So Texas is notorious for being like hot and sunny, and then all of a sudden it starts raining.
Yeah.
So I'm in my brother's house, and it's getting darker, and I'm like, okay, I need to go. It starts to dump rain. Like, just dump it. You can't even see straight. You can't see anything. The roads start flooding. My brother's like cul-de-sac where he lives currently starts flooding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I'm going to go. He's like, all right, be safe, So I go out the door, and I start to frolic run to my car. There's like a raging, current of water. And I drive away, and I'm like, where's my phone? So I'm like feeling my pockets, like, all right, I had my phone before I got in the car. Where is it now? I drive back to my brother's house, and I'm like, hey, man, did I leave my phone? So we're looking in the house. I'm like, I wonder if I dropped it. So I go out there, and I'm looking in the grass. I don't see it. I look in the raging current, and there it is, laying there.
Okay.
Underwater.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, of all the places it could fall is in this raging current. And I pick it up, and everything's fine. Still working. Freaking out. I come back in, and my brother's like, oh, my God, dry it off. Put it in a rice bag. So I had to turn my phone off, threw it in a rice bag for a little while. And then, I used my other phone to give you a text and say, hey, my phone took a dive. And then I texted you on my other phone, and you were like, hey, it's okay. It's like water resistant.
I remember I texted you, and you're going, but I hear something weird. And I said, play music and then dance around.
I know, like I used some compressed air and like got it out, and yeah, it was stupid though.
Yeah.
Like,
stupid. I was just I was just laughing.
I
was literally in the swimming pool, and I got that text, and I'm like, I don't know who this is. It's you on your other phone. And then I'm like, oh, it's waterproof.
Well, yeah, luckily it's waterproof, but you don't know, right? Like sometimes you get that one lemon that it's not waterproof or wasn't tested right, or whatever happens with these phones. But I'm glad, because I've lost a couple iPhones in the ocean. They were not waterproof. Like, it was in my LifeProof case, and then it got wet. You remember that?
Back in the day. I know I've drowned so many cell phones in the ocean. Those paddling days.
That was like
because you needed to have a phone for safety in case you needed to call the Coast Guard and say, we are really in trouble.
One job. You have one job. And it doesn't work.
Or to take pictures while you're out there.
Know.
It has multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose.
You said remind you about boots and the phone in the puddle.
I did something stupid. I bought some work boots, some Ariats. And I thought they were waterproof, so I walked straight into the pond.
Yeah.
They were not waterproof.
Oh, no.
And I discovered that. And so I was taking them back to Boot Barn, and I was standing there, and I was looking at my old boots.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really like these, And my brother was like behind me. He's like, just get the new ones and keep the old ones. You're going to need them anyway, because you're going to be doing all that farm work. But he was just so sweet. He was like, he saw me like get kind of sad that I was giving up my boots because I was trading them out, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, just keep it. You're going to need all kinds of pairs of boots to be out there doing whatever you're doing. And I'm like, all right.
Okay.
So now I have 2 pairs of work boots. And my brother bought me one. So I was like, oh, this is great.
Okay, well, speaking of getting all dressed up, tomorrow I have a first birthday luau, a baby luau. And
What?
I am going to get all dressed up for the first time since lockdown. And I'm so excited. I'm like, I've got a new pair of shoes and I got a really cute dress. And I am so excited to just like be dressing up just to go to a baby luau. Normally I would wear my slippers and I would wear jeans and a cute tank top, and that would be it. I'm going to be overdressed. I'm just going to be overdressed because I'm just so excited to go to a party.
That is exciting. You're finally getting out.
No.
What's that song? I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Gonna let it show.
I know.
See?
And
you have to play that song when you're on your way.
And then when I went out on Saturday, we went to go look for Oh, I wanted to go to Chinatown and go get dim sum from my favorite place, Taransut. They are closed. They closed during the
For good?
pandemic. Yeah. They're
Oh, man. Is Canton House still open?
I didn't look for them when I was looking for it. We were just looking for takeout.
I still like Canton House. The daughter of the owners, I think her name is Tina. She's always very sweet. Always gave me extra food too.
Yeah, no, they were really, really nice. We went to Canton House before lockdown. Actually, that was the last time I went, so I haven't been there since. But Canton House, I don't want to go and order takeout. I want to go and sit down. I want to go inside and sit down and eat there.
Okay, open your thing for me.
Oh,
Let's do this.
Okay, so
I'm so excited. I was like, I gotta send something to Mai. And my mom was like, wow, you never send stuff to her. I was like, what? Like,
well, it's because you always order snacks.
That's true. I do order snacks.
I haven't found anything to order from Texas.
There is nothing to order from Texas.
Okay, did I get everything out?
Nothing.
There's a card and a package. It looks like that's everything.
Yep.
From the envelope.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to see this first.
Oh.
Tell me about this. It's actually very pretty. I don't know how to describe it.
So it's a flat braided bracelet from Pura Vida, sponsor us. And I saw it and I thought it was really cool because they've changed the style. So you remember I used to wear this brand like all the time.
Yes.
And they used to be just threads. Well, now they're all wax coated.
Yeah.
They have a wax coating to them to make them waterproof.
I know.
Genius.
We were in the water
so now
with
they
ours.
last a lot longer. So I have one.
Mine's
love turquoise and yours is white.
Yes. Okay. I thought this was because
it's wax.
I sent you that funny commercial video for that movie Spirit. And at the end of it, for the ones that aired on TV, and it said, "There's always time for friendship-based crafting." And it made me crack up so much because they were all like, "Oh, you make friendship bracelets."
Yes, well, there's always time for a friendship bracelet. And then I also bought their Pride Edition bracelet. I thought it was really cute. But on my vision board, I have all of the ones that I used to wear in a picture. And I was like, dude, those didn't last because they were not wax coated. You know?
I took that picture.
So,
isn't that the one with your arms up?
No. This one's different. This was the one over. Oh, yeah, that one too. You took that picture, but there's another picture that I took.
Thank you so much. That is beautiful.
See?
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you. I love it.
Well, you've always told me, like, back in the day, we were like, we have multiple soulmates in our lives. They can be any gender. It's just that person, it's not even a romantic thing. Like, a lot of people think soulmate, romantic, blah. No. But I'm just like, you love them.
They're your soul family. If you've ever heard the term soul family, there's always a group of people that come into your life and they make such an impact. And you don't really know why, but they change you. That's definitely a sign of a soul family. I think
I'm missing that. Like, I need that back, that positivity and all that stuff. So I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of change coming in positive change, you know? Like, I just need more positivity in my life and try to, once I get over some hurdles, you know? Well, it has been really fun. I am excited to have my voice back almost to normal. And I was able to smell a little bit, so I feel like my cold is almost gone.
Good.
But
you need to rest.
Stay happy, stay healthy. Ugh, I only got one day of rest. Tomorrow I have to get up early and help my brother move very heavy things. And I'm still not completely recovered, so hopefully I'll feel better in the morning.
Yeah.
We'll see. Cross your fingers. Thank you for joining us for another happy Aloha Friday with Mai and Tai. Check us out on mytaisatsunset.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and anywhere else you listen to your favorite podcasts.
And until we meet again, ahui ho.